Paddy Pimblett doesn't deserve the title shot, and somehow he's fighting for one anyway. Yet here we are, staring down a fight week where he is facing Justin Gaethje for an interim title. All of this feels wrong when you look at the structure of the lightweight rankings. Ilia Topuria is out. Arman Tsarukyan is getting the short end of the stick, but the fight is happening anyway, and we're about to learn exactly what kind of fighter Paddy Pimblett really is. There are more questions around this fight than almost any other. Is Paddy Pimblett legit? Does Justin Gaethje still have that streak of violence? And how does Paddy Pimblett even approach this? These are the exact questions that Tavon Anthony and I set out to explore. Tavon Anthony joins the show once again, a recurring guest, as I could, who doesn't like a good appearance by Tavon Anthony? Man, what is up, dude? How have you been? Long time no talk, dude.
And life's been good. There's been a lot going on, especially in the past year to now. But I mean, that's good. Still creating, still having fun. And man, I'm just here.
Yeah, and we've been surviving this 6-week drought of fights. Now, I'm a boxing fan, so I've kind of had some nourishment here and there, but a lot of people haven't. And I feel for them because I am getting to the point to where it's like 6 weeks is a bit much for no MMA fights, so no big time UFC MMA fights. So the fight on hand is obviously Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, a title fight kind of nobody wants, but at the same time, a title fight that is happening, and it deserves to be talked about. Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, two of the more interesting fighters in the sport. Gaethje for what he has done, Paddy Pimblett for what he can be. So off the jump, man, what's your thoughts on what this fight can be? Do you think Paddy has a shot at 37-year-old Justin Gaethje? Or do you think this is going to be one of those ones where it's like, oh gosh, Gaethje got another interim title and he's just violent? If this is the kind of MMA conversation you come here for, subscribing is the easiest way to make sure it keeps happening.
And that's the thing, the latter part of what you said, like Gaethje having another chance at an interim title, it's like, all right, man, are you going to be a 2-time interim champion over here? And to
the
me,
2-time interim.
It's like, God dang it. Like, I don't really know if that's something that you want anybody announcing. Like,
Rose had the interim champ and then the BMF title too.
Yeah, he was the BMF champion. He
We
was.
We love Justin.
Yeah, it's like we love him to death, and we also like know that it's kind of a weird place because we have this younger talent coming up, and some of them cannot get past the quote unquote old guard, right? So it's just one of those fights where it's just like, all right, well, if he does get past Justin, how does he do it? And is it going to be like a gruesome fight where he gets the crap beat out of him and then somehow pulls it off against Gaethje? Because I don't think he dog walks Gaethje at all. I don't. I'm
gonna disagree there, but we can get into that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I say I don't think it. But that's also my heart saying, please don't. Because,
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, from a grappling aspect, he could do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really could do it. And I don't want to see it. That's the main thing. I do not want to see that. It's like, I know a lot of fans, they want to finally see Paddy really get like pieced up a bit. But I'm like, well, as a professional going into this kind of fight, knowing what Justin's capable of, and also just understanding like where he might not be the best, as far as Paddy knowing where he might not be the best himself, it's like, why would you go in there with the idea of I'm going to absolutely strike with this guy unless you have something else going on that's going to make Gaethje go, maybe I should be a little more timid with my striking, which he's not. He's just going to throw.
No, he's never timid.
No, he's going to give it to you how he gives it to you, and if it doesn't work, well, it didn't work. That's
now,
how it goes.
I will say this, dude. Thinking about it as I have been for the last 6 weeks, I think back to the Michael Chandler fight, and granted, Michael Chandler's not a quarter of the fighter Justin Gaethje was, but Pimblett's approach there was interesting. It was like, I'm going to kick you. I am way bigger than you, Michael Chandler, and I have a feeling that Pimblett's going to be a good bit bigger than Justin Gaethje. And these long range kicks really gave Michael Chandler fits, and eventually he shot a bad takedown. Paddy did what he needed to do, and then Paddy obviously went on the offensive once Chandler was compromised. Justin gets kicked, and though you fight, you do Muay Thai, so kick the kicker. If you can crowd and kick the kicker, that could lead you on a path to success against someone more explosive than you. Your longest weapon is your kick. Use it, and Pimblett's shown recently, hey, I'm going to use it.
Yeah, Pimblett's, granted, we see how big he was against Michael Chandler, right?
Right.
But I think some people, they don't really think about his actual range till they're in there with him. Like, to me, he would be one of those people that's like, oh, yeah, he probably kicks, but his legs are still deceptively longer than you think they are. So
yeah.
It's I really wonder how that's gonna go, especially with Justin's low kicks and stuff like that. Like, okay, he could kick Justin as much as he wants, but how is that gonna go if the fight goes more than 2 rounds?
Right.
I don't know.
That's where he thrives. That's where Justin thrives.
Yeah, that's where he thrives, especially off like the clinch, right? Just boom, hit you a couple of times, low kick right there. But also in that clinch, that's a dangerous spot because Paddy likes to throw up crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, or at least in the past he has. So it's one of those, okay, this could go this way, but it could go very wrong. It could go very wrong for Justin. Or it could go very good. He could take his legs out, which is something no one else has done, especially in the UFC. So what?
It's hard because Paddy Pimblett's so obviously flawed. He leaves his chin up high, man. Like it's there to be seen. He's admiring his work, and that's not something you want to do against a guy like Gaethje, man. But like you watch like the Max Holloway approach, and then it's like, okay, so I'm gonna keep you at range and stuff. And I think a lot of what Holloway's success was that spinning back kick in the first round, sure, but
yeah.
There is a slowing of Justin Gaethje. Like we talked about kicking the kicker, but also like Edson Barboza tried that. But then again, that was what, 6 years ago? Justin Gaethje's 37 now. He's not quite the same fighter. He doesn't have the same like ferocity. But like if he's fighting for his career, like he's talking about, he could bring that out and like, oh, you're gonna kick me? Fine, I'll kick you. And then they go back and forth in the kicking match. And like, you don't want to get into a kicking fight with Justin Gaethje for sure, man. Like, I don't think that's a good idea at all. But it's such a weird fight because Gaethje's on the decline and Paddy's on the come up as much as he can be.
Yeah, we know at the end of the day they want to put Paddy in the best place that they could possibly put him. The issue is, okay, what happens when he's there, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's like you don't want to throw a guy who obviously has all this star power into a position where it's just like, okay, lightning in the bottle, what to do? Yeah, he's finally there. He's finally at the title. Then he gets totally starched by who's
Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley.
Exactly, right? It's
Sean
like
O'Malley.
it's like we knew Sean was good. We knew Sean was good, but I don't think there's an overwhelming majority that believed he was the absolute guy that's going to defeat the entire division. It's like, no, I don't think anybody thought that. And with Paddy, it's the same way. I think in some years that could happen, especially considering who's up there now. And then as big as he is, it's like, how long does he stay at this weight with all that, with that cut? And then who's in the next division? It's like, do you honestly think he would really want to fight Islam? I don't think so. No, I do not think so.
Now, see, and the thing is, though, like, everybody hates this fight, dude. Like, let's be real. Everybody doesn't think that this is a fight that deserves to happen. But circumstances are odd right now with Ilia Topuria stepping away, and the UFC like hates Arman Tsarukyan, and like fans aren't hot on Arman either. But after watching him like send Dan Hooker to the shadow realm, it's like, okay, I don't like him. He's arrogant, but this dude might be the best in the world, and I really want to see Arman versus Ilia Topuria. But we can't have we got Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria at home right now, and it's Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, you know? My humble Arman versus Ilia. Oh, we got Arman versus Ilia at home, man. This is what it is.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, it's kind of nuts because at the end of the day, like with this fight, no matter who wins, no matter who they put the winner against, it's going to be a firefight, right?
Right.
It's going to
Right.
be fire. Like Justin versus Ilia is just like, oh, okay, well, hands, here we go.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
Violence.
But
Violence.
yeah, Paddy versus Ilia is just like, okay, well, there's history there. There's
And they're opposite styles too. I very
very.
opposite, man. I don't
Very,
know.
of which is just like, well, and then like Patty versus Ilia. Okay. As far as trying to grapple Ilia, okay, good luck taking him down, keep him there. But Lord God Almighty, you better start training with Freddie Roach immediately if you
Call
want to
Manny
get up.
Pacquiao, baby. Come on.
Exactly. Because you're getting hit. Like you're definitely
They need to
getting
get like a
hit.
little head thing, like the iron neck, and hang it upside down to where there's a 45 on his chin like this. Keep it down.
Exactly. And that's the thing, like, right, with Gaethje. If you try to play the crazy game with Gaethje, that's where Gaethje shines.
Yeah.
Right. If you try to play the wild man stuff with Gaethje, and so we saw that with Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
That's when we got reminded real quick that basics win fights. Because how did he win the fight? Jab, cross, hook.
Yeah.
That's what happened
That's
the
all he
whole
does.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, and it's like even with Michael Chandler, when he fought Michael Chandler, I'm like, okay, well, we see who's a little bit more composed right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And that's why he won. So if Paddy wants to make something crazy, that's the worst idea.
Yeah.
If he goes in there, somehow capitalizes off of the clinch or capitalizes off of Justin's excitement, then yeah, I could see him submitting him pretty. I'm not gonna say first round, but uh I could see that happening. I could see it
How has
happening
it
pretty
been?
quickly.
How has it
Hmm?
been since Justin fought? That's something
Oh
I hadn't
man,
thought
when
about.
was Justin's last fight?
It was Fiziev in March.
Yeah, and that was
And
well,
then
that was a fight that was tailor made for him.
yeah, and then Holloway in April of the previous year, UFC 300.
Yeah.
And then Poirier in July of 23. Dude,
Hmm.
so I had this theory with Terrence Crawford, and first of all, I was way off on it. I was like, man, Terrence Crawford don't fight. He's gonna come out, and he's gonna look old against Canelo and all this. But like, he didn't know, so like, that was a big L on my part. But like, Justin Gaethje is fighting once every 8-10 months,
Yeah.
and he's getting old. Every two fights he passes a birthday and a half, and he looks that much older. There's going to be a point like Yoel Romero where he just kind of falls off a cliff all of a sudden, and we're gonna be like, "Wow, what happened to Justin Gaethje? The fall off." It's like, no, dude, he's late 30s. He's geriatric in the lightweight division. He might be
Yeah.
the oldest fighter in the division. This could be an opportunity for Paddy to shine on a name like he did against Bobby Green, like he did against Michael Chandler, of a name that's popular and everybody still thinks is great that doesn't fight, and he gets to
Hmm.
beat him up.
Yeah, exactly. And if he looks really good, it's gonna make at least it's gonna make the casual go, okay, no, this guy is the guy. But once again, it's like what happens when he's in that seat.
against
Um,
against a Arman Tsarukyan or against an Ilia Topuria. That's what I
of
want to
which
know because he hasn't fought a good fighter in his prime yet. He really hasn't.
no, he once again, either guys on the downward end of their career
Hmm.
or like they're kind of I hate using this word because at the end of the day, they're all professionals. They're either on the downward spiral or they're mid
Yeah,
with,
yeah,
within the organization.
right.
So
That's a fair statement, though.
he's gotten the I'm not gonna say he's gotten princess treatment. He's been put in there
He's
with
gotten princess treatment, boy. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that's great.
that's basically it.
Hey,
Like
they took him to Walmart and bought him a half a dozen cupcakes. The
pretty
nasty little
much, it's
cupcakes they
like,
got at
yo, this
Walmart,
is
bro.
yeah, it's like, yo, this is kind of the easiest path you could have had. Cause let's hold on, let me bring up the UFC's top 10 UFC top 10 lightweights. Cause
I'll
when
pull that
you
up too.
think, yeah, because when we're thinking about like who's in that division, and then okay, lightweight.
He
Yeah,
didn't fight. He didn't fight Oliveira.
nope,
Didn't fight Max.
nope. Both of those would have been terrible freaking matchups.
Yeah. Benoit, he didn't have to fight. Jesus Christ, Benoit would beat the snot out of him.
Oh yeah, no, that would not be fun. Gamrot would have been an issue. Dan
That's
Hooker,
actually a
well,
fun fight. Yeah.
yeah, well, because it's Grapple Central.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, and I love it. Let's see. Hooker wouldn't have been a problem for him. Man, it's
mm-mm.
crazy. This division's weird, man. But you got like, look at number 15. This guy's terrifying. Ferris Ziem.
Oh yeah,
Ferris Ziem might have beat him, bro.
yeah.
Manuel Torres, good fighter, dude.
Mhm.
It's weird because we've been so spoiled with lightweights since
Ever.
Dos Anjos. It's like
Yeah,
this has been the best division, and now it's not. Welterweight's the best.
yeah,
And you look at this as like, old Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway has been around for a century. Justin Gaethje's out the door. Hooker sucks. Gamrot can't get it done. You're like, it's like a bunch of old heads, and you're like, it's
yeah. You're
okay.
just like, okay, well, who's gonna come over here? Just do it with the old head, so the newer guard can come in. We can see what's happening, right?
And then
Because
they
he
fight
still
Dustin
got,
Poirier.
yeah,
And then they
like,
fight Dustin, and it's like, no, nope, nope, Benoit, good luck.
oh man,
That's just how good
that
lightweight was.
yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like with the old guard, it's like these guys are so freaking ridiculous that even with like the younger generation going like, okay, I'm hungry, they didn't care. You got wrecked. You had to be ready for it, and then you even got Moicano in there who will take any daggone fight.
Yeah, yeah. He
Honestly,
fought Islam on like 2 days' notice.
dude,
He's like, yeah, sure.
excuse my language, but I just remember at the weigh-ins, they were like, Hinato, how do you feel about this opportunity? I don't give a fuck. But I'm like,
Dude, I still wanted him to win that fight just
so
purely
did I.
based on to hear the post-fight interview because
Bro,
oh my gosh, that would have been so classic. Oh my god.
that man would have called out Francis Ngannou off that. Like he would have been on such a high.
Oh, Francis, you suck.
I'd have been like, oh well, make the fight. Clearly, he feels
Yeah,
like he can
okay.
fight Dracula at this point. Oh my
What have been there
goodness.
with Alexander Karelin? Anybody, I don't care.
Exactly. Nah, you
Anybody.
can't take anybody down after that.
No, no, no.
Yeah, but
But
no,
dude,
but
yeah,
yeah, man.
I do feel like, that's a testament to what this division was.
Mhm.
The fact that we're not excited about a Paddy Pimblett, which is new blood. Let's be real, it's new blood.
Yeah.
We don't get excited about a Benoit Saint Denis really because it's like, man, they're not as great as a Dustin Poirier or a Eddie Alvarez or Justin Gaethje. And
Yeah.
it's a testament to what they were, but also we do got to give them time to be like, okay, now it's my time to shine. Just because, like, okay, so think about this guy at Alabama right now, coaching Kalen DeBoer.
Mm.
Do you really think he had a chance at success? Following up Nick Saban, the greatest college football coach of all time. That's like DC winning the title. Like, no, John Jones. Like that
Yeah.
light heavyweight still suffers from that, except for now it's Alex Pereira. But like forever,
Mhm.
light heavyweight suffered from that. Middleweight suffered from it when Anderson Silva left. It's hard to
Yeah.
follow up the man, and that division was full of grown men, like grown men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really tough because you, especially in MMA where you only have so many athletes at the top. So you're trying to feed these divisions and you're trying to just bring more competition in, but you can't have these guys continuously fighting each other like the amateurs
Right.
every month. So it's like, well, what do you do? Well, until somebody comes around and they are the man, you're probably going to have situations like this, unfortunately. But I
Unfortunately.
mean, it gives the opportunity to the younger talent. I think, unfortunately, with Paddy, because we saw how he was checked early on in the
Hmm.
UFC. Because what fight was that where it's like, did you really win that?
It was Jared
Um,
Gordon. Jared Gordon.
yeah, it's like we saw that, and it's like,
Mid in the context of the promotion. Yeah.
yeah,
And I
it's
love
just
Jared
like
Gordon.
exactly. And it's like once that kind of occurred, that's when you just saw that asterisk on it, where it's like, all right, well, what are you guys going to do with him now?
Now the
Because
excuses against him popped up too. That's a good point though, because like Bobby Green was on a decent run, and Michael Chandler's no like slouch to beat up like that. Like
no,
it's hard to beat him
no,
up
not
like
at all.
that.
Like I will never, I'm not going to take any win away from him. Like because at the end
Right.
of the day, like those guys still beat up half the division. Let's just be honest.
Right. I agree.
Those guys
I
still beat
agree.
up half the division, and you beat them.
Yes.
So can't take it
100%.
away from you. but I also can't look past the other aspect of
Yeah,
it. Like, yeah,
like
well, they're older. You have more tape on half of these guys than you had on any other opponent you ever had.
100%.
There's I'm not gonna say there's surefire ways of beating these guys, but
We know. We know how to
yeah,
do it. So
yeah.
let's round it off here.
Hmm.
2 words. Make your pick. I know. You want me to pick first? I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Nah, I'll go ahead and pick it, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
I hate to say it,
Paddy
Patty.
Pimblett's gonna beat Justin
Yep,
Gaethje.
yep,
I hope I'm wrong. I do. I hope I'm wrong. Justin's one of my all-time favorite fighters.
yeah. Like so for me, when Justin fought Fiziev, because didn't he fight him twice?
Yeah, yeah. There was one where he beat him pretty convincingly, and the other one was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, Justin's still him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fiziev, he won a majority decision in 23, and then his
Hmm.
last fight in March.
So I remember when that fight first came around, like I was so high on Rafael that I was like, oh, he's gonna beat him. He should, at least from a
Yeah,
striking
yeah. The
perspective.
first
He
fight I thought so
should.
too.
Yeah. So Justin, he just showed what was up. He's like, well, I'm here, I'm more experienced, and you're not gonna outdog me. And it's like, okay, cool. I don't think that's gonna be the case here because I don't think Patty's gonna play that let's get ready to rumble game. I just
Right,
don't. So
right.
I think he's gonna come to compete. I think Justin's gonna come to fight,
Yeah,
and the competitor's gonna win. So I'm picking Patty.
I love it. I love it. Tavon, thanks again, bro. Thanks for coming on. Anytime you want to come on, please hit me up. What you working on these days? Give me your pitches. What you got?
These days, I mean, I'm getting back to my fantasy versus series where I fight super villains and stuff like that.
I love it.
I'm getting back to making some more music. You're gonna hear some more MMA content
Yes.
coming soon. Like man,
Yes.
I've been itching, I've been writing, and I'm just like I got to get this out of my system.
I love it.
There's that, and then in March I'll be participating in my first and last Muay Thai tournament, the USA Muay Thai Grand Nationals. I'll be competing in the novice division, either that or intermediate if I take this one fight on the in between. But that's all I'm really worried about right
I
now.
love it.
So,
I love it. Man, I appreciate you again, and I'll catch you next time. If you're into the history, the forgotten stories, and the deeper side of combat sports, I'm also working on a docu-series called Fight Finders. It's about tracking down people, places, and stories that usually don't make the highlight reels. If that sounds like your kind of thing, you'll find it right here.